Welcome back, darlings. You join me again for a bit more testing of the Nanolex Professional Pre-Wash. Now, in this previous video, you can see I wasn't very happy with it at all. I'm giving it a go now at the higher dilution. Now it's at 1 to 10. Now, the instructions say for paint, a maximum dilution of 1 to 30. In that previous video, you saw that it kind of did nothing. In fact, I'll show you here. And we can clearly see there are differences of where the product's been. To me, from where I'm looking at here, the GT Foam V2 and the Stana-Gloss Force look far cleaner than everything else. And the citrus, this is surprising me, I don't really like citrus that much, but that at 1 to 4 is cleaned a lot better here than the 1 to 30. And didn't do an awful lot, did it, compared to the other options? So, what we're going to do is do a 1 to 10, which they say is their wheel cleaning dilution. But bearing in how much it didn't do on the paint, I'm going to try 1 to 10 here. And I could compare it to some different things this time. When I say different things, I mean, yeah, sure, I've got the Nanolex pump foamer with the Nanolex in. I'm also going to use a bit of Surfex HD because that was missing from the previous test, I guess. Surfex HD at 1 to 20 or about 5%. Then I've got, just for the sake of curiosity, I've got some Polestar. Koch Chemie Polestar, which is their interior cleaner, but I find it very good at breaking down dirt, so let's see if that works as a pre-wash. Useful if you're in a grind, perhaps. Then I've got Koch Chemie VB, or Koch Chemie VB, which is very similar to Garage Therapy Decon Wash. And why that is here, that's again at 1 to 10. That's here because that is also a mildly caustic pre-wash product. Well, it can be used for lots of different things, but a 1 to 10 mildly caustic pre-wash. I think that's particularly interesting because it turns out the Nanolex is also mildly caustic. I wasn't aware of that. Thanks to Ben from Detailing Base for helping me out with that one. And then finally, I've got a bit of FenLab Pure Rinseless at 250 to 1, which is its wash dilution. Using it as a pre-wash because I'm just really curious. ONR didn't do an awful lot, but the surfactants in FenLab Pure Rinseless are top notch. So let's see if that really helps. Let me show you where we're going to be working then. We're going to focus on the front part of the car here, and the reason for that is the back bit, you can see in the footage here, it doesn't look to be quite as dirty as like from the front door down. So we're going to do it that way around. I'm also going to give the Nanolex a bit of an easier go of it by putting it up here on the back quarter of this door rather than the front, because front bit's the dirtiest. There was a comment in the last video, not a negative comment, just an observation that, yeah, I did put it on the dirtiest part of the car. I think it's fairly consistent in dirt all the way across the top here, but to alleviate that, that's how we're going to do it. So without much further ado, I'm going to crack on. So 1 to 10. Now we're interested to see if this one foams up better than it did last time, because last time it was rubbish. I think I might have a blocked gauze here. I think I might have had a bit of an issue when I was recording there. I've just put them all on though. Over here is the Nanolex. Here is the Surfex HD. Here is the Polestar. Here is the FenLab Pure Rinseless, and over here is the Koch Chemie VB. So see what happens. Yeah, sorry about that technical hitch about not having any footage of me actually spraying the stuff on. Did manage to sort out the pump spray in the end, just flushed it out with hot water and it was all good. So this is about 5 minutes of dwell time you're watching. All right, well, straight off the bat, I think we can see a lot more this time. And I would say here, it's quite evident where the Nanolex has been. Then there's the Surfex. Polestar, not done an awful lot in runoff. The FenLab doesn't seem to have done an awful lot. And visually, there's no like clear, lighter area where the VB has been. But let's see what it's like when it's rinsed off. So for this, I'm using the Arva P57 with the Vario nozzle set to 20 degrees. And I should say there's 4-week-old Koch Chemie protector wax on these panels. Now, I'm kind of going very slowly here, but I'm showing you how slowly I move when I'm doing a pre-wash rinse. It's not quick, but when you speed up the footage, it generally looks like you're going very quickly, even though people know it's sped up. It's very important for me to show you how slow and thorough you should be with a pre-wash rinse, in my opinion. And that's because the pressure washer works in conjunction with the chemical pre-wash, and between the pair of them, they get as much dirt off as possible. And you can really tell the difference here. So obviously it's cleaner with just the pressure washer, but you can really see the benefit that the chemical adds into this as well. And you want to go over it, in my opinion, multiple times just to make sure you've got as much dirt off as possible before you get into the contact wash phase. Okay, so after the rinse, we can kind of see here, the hydrophobics are starting to come back. This is on the Nanolex side. Then this is the Surfex HD at 1 to 20. That's very good. And then over here, got the VB. I'm just trying to show you the difference, if you can really tell the contrast. Like, here is a bit where there's dirt left with a gap between that and the what we've got here with the FenLab. That and the Pulsar didn't do an awful lot, unsurprisingly. Then there's clearly the Surfex HD, and then there's clearly the Nanolex. What does this tell us then? Well, the Nanolex at 1 to 10 works pretty well, but that's their wheel cleaning ratio, not the one for the paint, although 1 to 30, which is their maximum paint, didn't do anything. The Surfex HD at 1 to 20, very potent, very capable. The VB is really good though, right? Because that looks as clean as that. I'm not going to do the swipe test. I can visually tell you that the VB and the Surfex look as clean as each other, and the Nanolex looks a little bit dirtier, but it's very, very marginal. So I wouldn't say at those rates one is better than the other. The big problem for the Nanolex is it costs £51 for 5 litres. And it's £30 for 5 litres of the VB. And Surfex, I can't even remember what Surfex is at the moment for 5 litres, but it's probably... I interrupt myself there. I do know how much it costs for 5 litres. It's £18 to £20, give or take, depending where you're buying from, which is incredibly good value, especially when you're using Surfex HD at 1 to 20 in this case, you know, and that was comparable to anything else at 1 to 10. Surfex HD isn't as free rinsing, that's for sure. And you can see that the hydrophobics didn't come back on that one at all. It does mask quite a lot, but it's not kind of made as a pre-wash product. It's an all-purpose cleaner. So if it was designed as a pre-wash, you'd have autofoam, or if you wanted something different surfactants, it'd be touchless. Autofoam also masks, which is why I'm using the Garage Therapy now, because I prefer that. Cleans just as well, in my opinion, in my experience. Have a look at that one if you've probably seen it all before. But it's a good cleaner. However, is there anything else you would like to know that I haven't covered in this? Would you like to see Surfex HD versus Green Star, for example? And would you like to see how those add up against the GT? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll try and make something else that will kind of answer those questions if you've got any. If not, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.